What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So today is the day my car finally gets the rumble back. As you guys may know, my old CNT header cracked at the collector, and here's one part of it. So I ended up ordering a catted unequal length header from Inferno Fabrications. Here it is. So after several delays and with everything going on, it took a little bit to get here, but it is finally here. Here it is. Looks pretty sweet. Give you guys a close up here shortly, but as you can see, it's a cat now, so my car can pass emissions, and also I think it will sound a little better as well. I won't have as much rasp as if you were catless. So definitely a nice upgrade from what I had. The welds are pretty alright, not bad, and honestly, just throw it on. So here's a close-up of the header. So this is actually the 4-2-1 design. So as you can see, you got 4 from where the heads are, and then it goes into 2, and it goes into 1 where the collector is. So this is the 4-2-1 style. So I actually had received the 4-1 style by accident, and actually that style hangs a little bit lower. And since my car is kind of low, I opted for the 4-2-1. So this is what we got. Looks pretty good. Looks better than the CNT one I had. But yeah, it should sound pretty good. Can't forget, I always got the OEM gaskets as well. I'll throw these part numbers in the description, but 2 of these guys here and 1 of that one. So in case you're planning to pick up your own Inferno Fab header, it does not come with any hardware. So for these right here, I reused the stock hardware. Now there is no studs on your collector. You need to purchase some new hardware. So this is what I actually got. These are classed 10.9 or grade 8 equivalent. I heard this is good for exhaust for any high heat areas and with a lot of vibration. I think these should do the job. So you can pick these up at your local auto parts store or any hardware store that has this. So I have the nut, of course, the bolt, I have a washer and a lock washer as well, and that I think should do the job just fine. So I'm not really sure if this is going to be much of an install video. I think there are plenty of videos out there on how to install the header. It's really just unbolting and bolting this up. It shouldn't be that hard, but yeah, I'll try to give you guys some pointers if I come across anything, but this is probably my 3rd time installing a header, so it's not too hard. Of course, I just came home from work, an hour-and-a-half drive, so I gotta let the car cool down a bit. Of course, before you do any exhaust work, make sure the exhaust is cool, otherwise you will burn yourself. So we're gonna give it some time here to cool down. I can go ahead and throw this on. Now I'm really hoping nothing is seized or anything. Last time I installed a stock header, some of the studs were seized to the nuts and ended up taking the studs out of the engine block itself, which, it's not ideal. It's not the end of the world, of course, but hopefully I did enough anti-seize on those threads and we shouldn't have any problem. So it's actually really hot in here as well, and apologize that this is not really a how-to video, but it's pretty straightforward. I'll try to get the camera under there while I'm installing it to show you guys what's up, but pretty much you remove your splash guard, take the old header off, take it off the cat pipe and all that, and just bolt this one up. It does help to have 2 people doing this. If you're alone like me, you're gonna have to use your jack to help guide it, but it's still doable if you don't have an extra set of hands. Alright, so I got the splash guard off. It's just a couple clips and bolts there. So before you begin to take the header off, make sure you disconnect your O2 sensors. So we got one right here. There's one connected right there as well. So just push on the tab and take them off. Then I will link you guys down below a special socket that you can use to remove the O2 sensor a lot easier. I mean, you can just use a regular wrench or whatever, but this tool makes it easier to take them off because you can use your ratchet or rigger bar. So here's what I'm talking about. This is an O2 sensor socket. So you can see you can put your 3/8 inch drive in there, and this goes around the the O2 sensor, and this space allows the wire to go through. So if you use this, it's easier to break loose the O2 sensors if they're really stuck. And then you want to know where the primary and secondary O2 sensors are, so it's going to be the same orientation. So when you take the header off, just take note of where they're going to go. So I'll show you guys that shortly. Alright, so you guys can see I unplugged all the O2 sensors, so just make sure you know where they go back to. So this yellow one plugs into this one here, and this blue one, which is I believe your secondary one, plug into one connector kind of on the engine block right here. So just try to remember that before you plug them in wrong. You don't want to do that. So right now I'm just gonna unbolt the header. I think what I've done in the past is I just did this part here first, just 3 14mm bolts, and then all the ones on the cylinder heads. There are 6 total. So yeah, I'm gonna get this off and I will update you guys when that is done. Alright, so that's probably the hardest part of this whole install, is taking off this header because these studs just get stuck, but you just gotta be real careful, guys. You don't want to damage the threads on your exhaust studs, but pretty much what this tool does, you can get through the O2 sensor wiring so you won't damage it when you spin it. Get your 3/8" drive. Hopefully this is enough leverage. Just crack on it. I mean, it might be on there tight if you haven't uninstalled it before, but in my case, it was pretty easy to get off, as you guys can see. So just loosen it carefully. Try not to damage anything. I would have your header ready to go just to swap it over, so I'm actually gonna do that real quick. You want to take note of where it's at on your stock header, and you want to put it in the same position. So in this case, we have this hole right here, so carefully remove it. Don't want to damage or touch this part really. So once you remove the O2 sensor from your stock header, you want to transfer it over to your new one. So you can put any seeds if you want on the threads. I really haven't. You just don't really have to crank it that hard, honestly. I'm just gonna get snug by hand first and then torque it down with the tool again. But I'm gonna do the same procedure and get the other sensor off. Again with the tool, just be really careful. But I didn't really torque these down that hard when I installed it last, so just gotta be careful. Easy enough. They're probably a little too loose to be honest, but whatever. So carefully take them out, put it into the new header. So I guess in the end, this is kind of turning into a how-to video. It's just not as in-depth as other channels would do, but hopefully this helped you guys out in some way. Now we're just gonna torque these down. I mean, I'm sure there's a torque spec for them. Personally, I've just always got them snug. Might have to kneel in the header a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty tight. I guess just don't go too crazy. Should be good, honestly. Alright guys, just like that, the header is installed, all the bolts tightened up. You don't need to torque them down like crazy because you don't want to risk snapping any studs or cross-threading or anything, so don't have to use a ton of force, but make sure they're pretty snug. Make sure the gaskets are in place, of course. But yeah guys, this is the 421 design, and looks like it's not hanging down as low as I've seen the 4.1 hang down, so that's good to know. I'm not sure if I can still use my OEM splash guard as it may melt it from the heat. We'll have to see, but everything should be on, so you guys know what that means. It is time for the first start. And also don't forget to plug in your O2 sensors, and I might zip tie this up here just so it doesn't dangle around. I mean, it has quite a bit of tension on there, which I'm not really a fan of, but hopefully that doesn't cause any issues down the line. But yeah, I would zip tie these up and away. You don't want this to touch anything, which I don't think it will, but better safe than sorry. Alright, so this is a first start of the Inferno Fabrications unequal length catted header 421 design and the Invidia R400 catback. So let's see how this sounds. Hope you guys can hear me. First start, I don't think you can hear any leaks, but we're gonna check real quick. Sounds really good though. I love that rumble. So glad to have it back, but right now I'm gonna test for leaks, see if it's going anywhere. Alright, so I think that's gonna be the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Header sounds amazing. It's definitely the best sound this car has ever had, and there's no rasp at all. I've had 2 catless setups in the past and they were pretty raspy, above $4,000, so that's kind of what you get for being catless. But now, since this header has a cat on it, definitely helps the sound smoothen out a bit. And of course, now my car can pass emissions and all that fun stuff. So yeah, definitely worth the wait. It was a little bit, but that's okay. It's definitely worth it. Install was easy, you know, it went out very smooth as you guys saw. Yeah, definitely recommend it, guys. Check out Inferno Fab. I'll put his information in the description. That being said, guys, follow me on Instagram at will.kgfx. Check out Katana Style at katana.style on Instagram and katanastyle.com, and I will see you guys in the next video.